What is happening on this Bitcoin daily chart is nothing short of insane to me. I'm going to explain exactly why in this video. This is all while Bitcoin is just so close, like 4% away from $100,000 ADA on the weekly. Just a monumentally bullish looking weekly candle for ADA. I want to really zoom in on what is actually happening within this weekly candle. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. It's going to be a very just traditional technical analysis video on Bitcoin and Cardano. There's a lot of bullishness right now. And I want to just say that on the macro, everybody, I think this thing is just getting started. But let me preface the video by just saying there might be some consolidation. I'm going to break that down in this video. This might not be the moment we're getting this massive next leg up. I want to mention that, but I'm going to discuss the next leg up, and I'm going to discuss the potential consolidation that might be in store for us in the short term. So let's start with Bitcoin. So here's Bitcoin on the weekly. I wanted to start here, and we're going to really zoom in on it on the daily, but it's the comparison of where we are this cycle to this moment last cycle, and it's looking eerily similar, the weekly chart. What I wanted to point out, and then I'm just going to show you like what really just is insane to me in terms of the time frame of this. Look where the RSI is right now, right around 74. At this moment, last cycle, you can see there, it was consolidating a little choppy for a moment in a very similar move, right around 83, 82. This just tells me there is a lot of momentum for Bitcoin to the upside, even still. And if you notice the stock RSI, the quicker moving momentum oscillator, as we made our way into this move of consolidation right here, it was just entering overbought. And we're getting a very similar move right here. I genuinely enjoy when charts from a cycle perspective line up like this. This is exactly why since 2018 bear market lows, I've been, and not just me, almost everybody have been anticipating the bull market to the bear market to the bull market to the bear market. This is why there's such consistency and flow on the Bitcoin charts. But let me dig into these on the daily and start really observing price action now on the short term. Here's where we are right now. The main thing to note is we got overextended from the 20-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, and now we've pulled in. This is the biggest thing that I talk about in bull environments. And this is probably the biggest thing I will be talking about anytime Bitcoin explodes to the upside. It's okay. What does structure look like even before it happens? I talk about this a lot. Well, now we're getting it. The Bitcoin price pulling into the 20-day moving average. At this moment, last cycle on the weekly, again, right here, this is what Bitcoin looked like. Pulling into, after getting overextended, the 20-day moving average. And look at the structure. Here's what is just crazy to me. This candle right here was November 27th, 2020. This is exactly four years ago. And here's altcoin season. This is the beginning of January. That's when altcoin season fell. Bitcoin dominance started falling at this moment. And if you look at the chart now, here we are, November 27th, 2024, 4 years to the day exactly, getting support at the 20-day with altcoin season, speculatively based on previous two altcoin seasons, right here, beginning of December. It just doesn't, I don't know. I know I keep using words insane, crazy. I just don't know. I need to open up a thesaurus and find new adjectives, but that's just what it is to me. Because I've been using historical data on my YouTube channel to analyze Bitcoin price on the macro, to analyze bull markets and bear markets. And it really is. It's still just coming together so nicely. But from a short-term price action perspective, what can we anticipate now? For me, it's just similar to what we anticipated last cycle or what we saw last cycle. And it doesn't even have to be last cycle at this moment. It could just be any time Bitcoin is consolidating, we look for structure. That's just kind of a rule for me. And so what it looked like back then was kind of like almost like an ascending triangle, kind of. But you can see there was structure. And probably around a couple weeks right there before continuing to the upside. It tested this 20-day moving average. And in fact, at one point, kind of between the 20 and the 50. If we look at the chart now, yes, we all want the move to $100,000. Maybe we have an explosive, just green candle today, and it happens. It could happen. But if we're looking at historically how Bitcoin trades, there's a very strong case that we just get more consolidation, right? Over the rest of November into the beginning of December. And what I'm watching for is really between $100,000 and the 20-day moving average. what kind of structure do we get? Is it like kind of like that last cycle where we're kind of getting like an ascending triangle? Is Bitcoin bouncing around in here? Is the 20-day failing? That's probably the biggest question I'm asking right now. Can we see continued support above the 20 days around $90,500? And what is the structure doing? That's what I'm watching for on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin starts just getting into 99,000, I'm probably just going to do a live stream and just track $100,000 breakout. But I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe it's today. Maybe it's over here, December 2nd. Maybe support falls at the 20-day. But this is why I'm doing the analysis, is to anticipate these things and be patient for these things. Again, you zoom out on a weekly chart, the parabolic move for Bitcoin, we're just at the beginning stages of this. When you look at historical data, you look at previous cycles. This time is different. There is a Bitcoin supply shock happening with institutions, governments. This is next level, different cycle for us. So as we are zooming in and tracking the short-term price action, we have to keep those things in mind and just be careful for volatility. Let's pivot over to Cardano. I want to just discuss, obviously, what's happening on the daily chart. Here's the weekly chart. We opened with that. But I want to discuss on Cardano, maybe continued volatility, continued consolidation. It's nice to see ADA back above the dollar, but that doesn't mean we're staying there, right? And I just want to mention that. But I want to start here. Cardano Whales seized the opportunity, acquiring over 130 million ADA during recent dip. I want to say, I see a lot of posts. Retail's back. They're buying ADA. What's most compelling to me is I think it's the whales that are buying ADA. It's institutional interest that is buying ADA. So I think this story is just beginning, and I think these whales and institutions are just getting positioned. An initial accumulation phase occurring between early November and November 12th was followed by an observed upward price trajectory, suggesting that large holders anticipated a bullish breakout. Really, to sum it up, while the accumulation line remained relatively stable over previous months, it surged just before the preceding price breakout. There's something going on behind the scenes. I think that. Time will tell. Maybe it'll be a week, 2 weeks, a month away, months away. I don't know. This correlation between ADA's price action and accumulation metrics proves the influence of large holders in driving market trends. And this is the beginning of the trend. This is the beginning of the macro ADA trend on the weekly. And that's really what I want to discuss. We're going to talk about Bitcoin dominance first, because I saw this post. It's a really good post the other day. It was a different angle, a different perspective on Bitcoin dominance and ADA, and I wanted to bring it up because it's just a really nice perspective. We're running at 7x gains over last cycle on the exact same BTC dominance level as 4 years ago to this very day. This would suggest $13.50 ADA in May and $20 ADA in September. I'm not so much going to talk about those price targets. We can do that in a different, maybe just solely dedicated Cardano video. But what I did want to point out was this, his kind of correlation to Bitcoin dominance and ADA price this cycle versus last. Let me explain. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, altcoin season just beginning last cycle, ADA started that at 15 cents. ADA was 15 cents around this moment last cycle when Bitcoin dominance was about to fall. And then here's the top of Cardano bull market, $3. And you can see it was kind of like the second bottom for Bitcoin dominance at the time in the bull market in September 2021, $3. What I really want to point out to you is this. It was 252 days of Cardano bull market from when altcoin season started. This, for me, is not saying, hey, it's definitely, first off, altcoin season starting here, and it's going to be 252 days. But I will say this, I am absolutely using that as a reference for how long we might have this Cardano bull market. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's almost exactly 250 days. Maybe it's more. Maybe we have a super cycle and this is a different cycle and it's longer, right? But either way, I'm using this as a reference point of what to anticipate. And I think it's such a good perspective. And even more powerfully is the fact that at this moment, this cycle, Cardano is $1. So starting point last cycle, 15 cents, went to $3. Starting point this cycle, $1. What do you think it's going to? I'll just leave that question up for debate in the comments. Let's talk about Cardano technical analysis and just kind of talk about what is going on right here. So the weekly chart is looking it's looking so good, everybody, from multiple different perspectives. We're just entering, kind of similar to Bitcoin, entering this overbought territory. You can even look at this quicker moving momentum oscillator, overbought. But what I really just want to point out to you is the beginning of Cardano's cycle, bull cycle, last cycle, this is what was happening, right? So this was the beginning of the move. And notice, even when we fell out of overbought, Cardano still had its bull cycle, right? All the way until that second overbought after consolidation, right in August into May. There's the top of the bull market. So you see how we are just, if we're looking at historical data, we're just at the beginning here. So I want to point that out on the weekly chart. Same thing with the slower moving momentum oscillator. Getting into overbought just gives a really good kind of indicator of where we are in the cycle. Cardano still has not broken its own bull market doors. Another indicator that we are early, that is this swing high around $1.25 going into the bear market to the 200-day moving average or 200-week moving average right around 75. So 75 cents to around $1.25. We're in that range now. And so this is where, from even just a logical perspective, we might have some consolidation, choppy waters, revisits to the downside, tests to the upside. But we start getting clues. Here's the daily chart. Not a lot of structure still, but what is good is we are pulling into, as we have been anticipating, the 20-day moving average. We're setting up structure. Notice we've not even tested it yet. 75 cents is that 20-day moving average. Interestingly enough, it's also the lower range of this bull market door area. It's in play. I don't want to just keep saying that to instill some fear or something, but it's in play. And another, from where we are now, 20-some% dip for ADA, 25% dip, it would be normal. It would not, for me, signal any type of end to bullishness. I just want to say that. But right now, for me, as we wait for structure on the ADA charts on the daily, similar to how we're looking for structure on the Bitcoin charts, I'm just trying to be patient right now. I want to see Bitcoin or ADA break its previous swing high, obviously. And if we change this, we get better structure set up on ADA right now. So potentially what we have happening here is a channel breakout of this upper trend line. Target to the upside is really just testing previous swing highs. We're so zoomed in. It's such a short-term move. It's not even that big of a move to the upside. If we're measuring from where ADA is right now, it would be another 13% move. And that could be part of the bigger story on the daily, the structure that we're looking for. It's a short-term breakout to the upside. Otherwise, ADA may be just falling back into this channel, and maybe we're testing 84 cents again sooner than later. But either way, if we notice target to the upside, maybe target support to the downside, if you go back to the daily chart, you're going to notice something. Well, no matter which way it goes, right? Up here, down here, we're getting structure. And that's what I'm waiting for. As the 20-day moves up towards ADA price, the 50-day as well, and the 200, we want to see all those moving averages move up to ADA price. So I'm going to continually monitor structure, especially as it's coming together now on the Bitcoin and daily charts for Cardano. And we're just going to see. That's all I'm doing. I'm just hanging out. I'm enjoying the fact that I really genuinely think when we zoom out on just total crypto market cap chart, if you go to total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, I have to do a separate video on this. We've not even broken all-time highs on this chart. We're just at the beginning. We are just at the beginning of the move, in my view. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you watching. Please hit the subscribe, turn notifications on, and if you enjoyed this video, smash the like. Your support, it really does make a difference, and it means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.